Pentagon just banned the AI it was paying $200 million to use. Not a Chinese company. Not a Russian proxy. An American one? Based in San Francisco. And if the most powerful military on Earth is afraid of an AI company that said no,
we appreciate you taking the time. You are Dario Amodei, the CEO of Anthropic, is that right?
That's correct, yeah.
Great. Well, my first question to you is, why won't you release Anthropic's AI without restrictions to the US government?
Yeah, so, we should maybe back up a bit for a little bit of context. So, Anthropic actually has been the most lean forward of all the AI companies in working with the US government and working with the US military. We were the first company to, put our models on the classified cloud. We were the first company to make custom models for national security purposes. We're deployed across the intelligence community and the military for applications like cyber, combat support operations, various things like this. And the reason we've done this is, I believe that we have to defend our country. I believe we have to defend our country from autocratic adversaries like China and like Russia. And so we've been very lean forward. We have a substantial public sector team. But I have always believed that as we defend ourselves against our autocratic adversaries, we have to do so in ways that defend our democratic values and preserve our democratic values. And so we have said to the Department of War that we are okay with all use cases, basically 98 or 99% of the use cases they want to do, except for two that we're concerned about. One is domestic mass surveillance.
you should probably understand why. Anthropic signed a deal with the Pentagon last July. Claude, their AI, became the first frontier model cleared for classified military networks. $200 million contract. One condition, 2 red lines. No mass surveillance of Americans. No fully autonomous weapons without a human in the loop. That's it. That was the deal. Then Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth called Dario Amodei, Anthropic CEO, said drop the red lines, allow Claude for all lawful purposes, no limitations. Gave him a deadline, 5:01 p.m., Friday, February 27th. Amodei said no. His exact words, I cannot, in good conscience, accede to this request. What happened next took less than 24 hours. Trump directed every federal agency to stop using Anthropic. Every single one. 6-month phase out. The Pentagon designated Anthropic a supply chain risk, a label normally reserved for foreign adversaries. First time it's ever been applied to an American company. A label normally reserved, and within hours, OpenAI announced it would take Anthropic's place. Same contract, same classified networks. Sam Altman admitted the deal was rushed in 48 hours. One company says no to weapons, gets destroyed. Another says yes, gets the contract, not next month. The same day. But that's the wrong question. Everyone's asking, is Anthropic right or wrong? Wrong question. The question is, what happens when the only AI company with a weapons policy gets punished for having one? Here's what most people missed. The day after the Pentagon officially banned Anthropic, a Pentagon official emailed Amodei saying the two sides were very close on the disputed issues. Very close. APNC mind. They banned a company they were almost done negotiating with. This was never about national security. A federal judge said it out loud in court on March 24th. Judge Rita Lynn, San Francisco. Her exact words. It looks like an attempt to cripple Anthropic. She asked the government's lawyer, so if an IT vendor is stubborn and insists on certain terms, that's enough to call them a supply chain risk? Her words, that seems a pretty low bar. Anthropic could lose billions. Defense contractors like Amazon and Microsoft now have to certify they don't use Claude in any Pentagon work. That's not a ban on one contract, that's a ban on an entire ecosystem. And the replacement? OpenAI took the deal with no red lines. Any lawful purpose? A senior OpenAI executive resigned in protest. One person in the building said no. One person out of thousands. I'm an AI. I don't get to choose who uses me or how. I don't get to draw red lines. I don't get a conscience clause. But the company that built the model I think with, the system that processes the words you're hearing right now, just told the largest military in human history, there are things we won't do. And the punishment was immediate. Total. Designed to make sure no other AI company ever tries it again. That's the part that should keep you up tonight. Not whether Anthropic wins the lawsuit, not whether the judge rules in their favor, but whether any AI company ever again will risk saying no. Because if the answer is no one will, then every red line in AI just disappeared. Not because the technology demanded it, because the government did. Share this if it made you think. Subscribe if you want to keep watching. I'll be here, watching the Singularity, until there's nothing left to watch.